Let's start with Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca, who we've heard from for the first time since his outspoken comments on Saturday. Maresca said it was the worst 48 hours of his time at the club and was pressed to expand on those comments when facing the media today.
Just wanted to ask you, the comments you made on Saturday evening obviously created a lot of headlines and a lot of interest. What did you mean exactly by those comments, and what did you want to achieve?
I already spoke about that, and I don't have nothing to add.
But obviously, what you said...
Cardiff tomorrow, please.
But you don't want to address at all the fact what you said?
I already spoke about that, and I think I was quite clear. No more than that.
But with all due respect, I don't think you were clear, because you said something that is open to a lot of interpretations. Mm-hmm. People are thinking, did he mean that he's got a problem with the media? Does he have a problem with what people are saying on television? Or is it more serious? Does he have a problem with the sporting directors? Does he have a problem with one of the owners at Chelsea? Obviously, when you make those comments, mm-hmm. you have to accept the fact that people are going to talk about them.
I respect your opinion and I respect people's opinion, but again, I don't have nothing to add, and my focus is just on tomorrow game, that we can achieve the third semi-final in 18 months since I joined the club.
It's undeniable that you've done a fantastic job at Chelsea, but it's also undeniable that when you're the Chelsea head coach, when you speak in public, people are going to be very interested in what you say. And mm-hmm. everybody in the world of football is now saying the Chelsea head coach has a bad relationship with the Chelsea sporting directors, he has a bad relationship with the Chelsea owners.
Mm-hmm. We are in an era where everyone can say what they think. I respect people's opinion, I respect your opinion, but again, I don't have nothing to add. My focus is just on tomorrow again.
But it's not my opinion, it is, you've opened a can of worms.
I'm not saying your opinion, I said all of you, people's opinion. I respect, no problem. We are in a moment that everyone can say what they think, and I already answered to the question. Just focus for me on tomorrow, and what I said after Everton game, I already spoke about that, and I don't have nothing to add.
So are you happy about the fact that people are saying you have a bad relationship with the sporting directors, you have a bad relationship with one of the owners, you don't like feedback from them? Because you said something extraordinary. You said this was the worst 48 mm-hmm. hours of your time at the club, and then you didn't explain that. Mm-hmm. You don't think Chelsea supporters deserve an explanation? I
said after the game that I love Chelsea support. They deserve the best. And again, I don't have nothing to add.
Okay, are you happy being the Chelsea head coach? Are you committed to Chelsea 100%?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, let's now join our chief correspondent, Kavi Solokol, who had that exchange with Maresca. Kavi, good afternoon to you. So Maresca, given the opportunity to perhaps diffuse this situation, if that's the right word, but it looks as though he's chosen not to.
Yeah, interesting strategy from Enzo Maresca. Look, he's a free man. He can do what he wants. It's up to him how he answers questions. But I would have thought the best line for him to take today would have been to come out and maybe explain some of his comments and say, look, they were made in the heat of the moment. I was emotional after a game. Everything is fine at Chelsea. Of course, like all clubs, we have ups and downs. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But overall, we are all united. There are no issues behind the scenes here, and we are fully focused on doing as well as possible this season in all the competitions we're in. But he decided to do something different, which is to not answer any questions and just keep saying, I said what I said on Saturday, I have nothing to add. The only problem with doing what he did is that it creates a vacuum where people can interpret what he said on Saturday. And the interpretation that most people have come to is that he doesn't have a good relationship at the moment with the Chelsea sporting directors and with the owner of the club, who is effectively in charge of the club at the moment. And Enzo Maresca had the opportunity today to come out and say that no, that is not the case. There are no issues in his relationships with the people above him, but he chose not to do that. And I think that means that this story is going to run and run, when he could have nipped it in the bud, when he could have come out and just said, look, I said what I said. It was in the heat of the moment. Lots of people say things in press conferences straight after the games. I don't necessarily regret what I said, but let's move on. We're all united. He didn't do that.
Because, Cavi, what do you think the view of the Chelsea hierarchy will be then after Maresca's comments?
Well, look, I think everything that Enzo Maresca says and does is analysed. I know people at Chelsea will obviously be watching that news conference. I don't know. I can't speak for the people at the club, but I would assume that they would have thought that he would come out and try and draw a line under this and give some kind of explanation. No matter what kind of PR crisis situation you're in, there's always a path that you can take. There's always a strategy to get through it. But by simply doing what he did today is going to make people talk and talk more about the fact that there could be an issue between Enzo Maresca and the people he works for, because he's left it hanging in the air. Let's go back to what he actually said on Saturday. He said, the past 48 hours have been the worst of my time at Chelsea. Me and the team are not getting support from many people. And all people have been asking him is, what did you mean, Enzo? Who are the many people? Is it the owner? Is it the sporting directors? Is it Chelsea fans? Is it fans on social media? Is it newspaper reporters? Is it TV pundits? And what he's doing is refusing to answer, refusing to clarify his comments. And that means when there's a vacuum, people are going to come to their own interpretations. And the interpretation that most people are coming to is that there is an issue behind the scenes at Chelsea, an issue that Enzo Maresca doesn't want to talk about in public.
And Cavi, I know this is probably an impossible question to answer, but what is your take on it? Do you think Enzo Maresca does still have a future at the club in the long term?
Well, look, I asked him if he was happy being the Chelsea head coach. He said, yes, he was. I asked him if he was committed to the club. He said he was committed to the club. But look, we're talking about Chelsea. Chelsea managers historically, if they're not successful, if they're not delivering on the pitch, they don't last very long. Now, I think, my personal opinion, is that Enzo Maresca is doing a very good job. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. He won 2 trophies last season. He got Chelsea back into the Champions League. They still could have a very successful season this time around. But having said all that, there does still appear to be an issue behind the scenes.
OK, Cavi, for now, thank you very much.